According to the National Electrical Code, smoke detectors should be hardwired using Class 1 or Class 2 wiring. Romex, a non-metallic sheet cable commonly used for residential wiring, is generally not considered suitable for smoke detector circuits. This is primarily due to Romex's temperature rating, which may not withstand the high temperatures potentially generated by a smoke detector during a fire event. Class 1 wiring, a metal-clad cable, is specifically designed for fire alarm systems, including smoke detectors, offering enhanced protection against fire and physical damage. Class 2 wiring, typically low-voltage cable, is also suitable when the smoke detector system operates at a lower voltage. When hardwiring smoke detectors, adhering to the manufacturer's instructions and using the correct wiring method is crucial. Improper wiring can create a significant fire hazard, potentially compromising the smoke detector's functionality and endangering occupants. In addition to hardwiring, installing battery backups is essential. These backups ensure the smoke detectors remain operational during power outages, providing continuous fire detection capabilities. The specific requirements for smoke detector wiring can be found in NEC Article 760, which covers fire alarm systems. This article details the acceptable wiring methods, circuit protection, and installation practices for fire alarm circuits, including those for smoke detectors. When selecting wiring for smoke detectors, several factors must be considered. Firstly, the voltage and current requirements of the smoke detectors must be matched to the wiring's capacity. Secondly, the wiring must be suitable for the environmental conditions, such as temperature, humidity, and exposure to chemicals. Thirdly, the wiring must comply with all applicable codes and standards. For Class 1 circuits, conductors must be insulated and rated for at least 600 volts. The minimum wire size is typically 14 American wire gauge, though larger sizes may be required depending on the circuit's current carrying capacity and the length of the run. Class 1 wiring methods include rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, and cable types such as metal-clad cable and armored cable. These methods provide excellent physical protection and are suitable for both exposed and concealed locations. For Class 2 circuits, conductors must be insulated and rated for the circuit's voltage. The minimum wire size is typically 18 American wire gauge, though larger sizes may be required depending on the circuit's current carrying capacity and the length of the run. Class 2 wiring methods include non-metallic cable types such as CL2, CL2P, and CL2R. These cables are suitable for use in residential and commercial buildings, but they must be installed in accordance with the NEC requirements. When installing smoke detectors, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. These instructions will provide specific information on the wiring connections, mounting locations, and testing procedures. In general, smoke detectors should be located on each level of the building, inside each sleeping area, and outside each sleeping area. They should be mounted in the ceiling or high on the wall, away from air vents and other obstructions. After installation, smoke detectors should be tested regularly to ensure they are functioning properly. This can be done by pressing the test button on the detector or by using a smoke detector tester. If a smoke detector fails to function properly, it should be replaced immediately. Regarding the use of Romex, while it may be permissible in some jurisdictions for certain low-voltage smoke detector systems, it is generally not recommended or preferred for several reasons. Firstly, its temperature rating is lower than that of Class 1 wiring, making it less suitable for high-temperature environments. Secondly, it lacks the physical protection of metal-clad cables, making it more susceptible to damage. Thirdly, some jurisdictions may specifically prohibit the use of Romex for fire alarm circuits. To ensure a workmanlike application, it is essential to adhere to the NEC requirements and industry best practices. This includes using the correct wiring methods, following the manufacturer's instructions, and testing the smoke detectors after installation. By following these guidelines, you can help ensure that smoke detectors function properly and provide early warning of a fire. Consider the specific installation environment. Is it a residential, commercial, or industrial setting? The NEC provides different requirements for each of these settings. Consider the voltage and current requirements of the smoke detectors. Use wiring that is properly sized for the circuit's load. Consider the ambient temperature of the installation environment. Use wiring that is rated for the maximum temperature. Consider the presence of moisture or corrosive substances. Use wiring that is suitable for these conditions. When connecting the wiring to the smoke detectors, use appropriate connectors and terminals. Ensure that all connections are tight and secure. Protect the wiring from physical damage. Use conduit or other protective measures where necessary. Test the smoke detectors after installation to ensure they are functioning properly. Keep detailed records of the installation, including the wiring methods used, the locations of the smoke detectors, and the results of the testing. Consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about the installation of smoke detectors. Proper installation of smoke detectors is crucial for life safety. By following the NEC requirements and industry best practices, you can help ensure that smoke detectors function properly and provide early warning of a fire. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay current with the latest requirements. There are many resources available to help you learn more about the NEC, including books, articles, and training courses. Remember, the goal is to create a safe and reliable fire alarm system that protects occupants and property. Therefore, always prioritize safety and compliance when installing smoke detectors. In addition to the wiring and installation requirements, there are also specific requirements for the maintenance and testing of smoke detectors. Smoke detectors should be tested at least once a month to ensure they are functioning properly. The batteries should be replaced at least once a year, or more often if necessary. Smoke detectors should be cleaned regularly to remove dust and debris. If a smoke detector fails to function properly, it should be replaced immediately. The NEC also includes requirements for the placement of smoke detectors. Smoke detectors should be located on each level of the building, inside each sleeping area, and outside each sleeping area. They should be mounted on the ceiling or high on the wall, away from air vents and other obstructions. It is also important to consider the specific needs of the occupants when installing smoke detectors. For example, smoke detectors should be installed in accessible locations for people with disabilities. Smoke detectors with strobe lights should be installed for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. By following these guidelines, you can help ensure that smoke detectors are properly installed and maintained, and that they provide early warning of a fire to all occupants of the building. Furthermore, consider the type of smoke detector being installed. There are 2 main types: ionization and photoelectric. Ionization smoke detectors are generally more responsive to flaming fires, while photoelectric smoke detectors are generally more responsive to smoldering fires. For optimal protection, it is recommended to install both types of smoke detectors in a building, or to use combination smoke detectors that incorporate both ionization and photoelectric sensors. When selecting smoke detectors, look for models that are listed by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories or Intertek. These listings indicate that the smoke detectors have been tested and meet certain safety standards. Also, ensure that the smoke detectors are compatible with the building's fire alarm system. If the building has a central fire alarm system, the smoke detectors should be interconnected with the system so that an alarm in one smoke detector will trigger the entire system. In addition to hardwired smoke detectors with battery backups, there are also wireless smoke detectors available. Wireless smoke detectors offer the advantage of easy installation, as they do not require any wiring. However, they rely on batteries for power, so it is important to check the batteries regularly and replace them when necessary. When using wireless smoke detectors, ensure that they are compatible with each other and that they have a reliable wireless connection. It is also important to consider the range of the wireless signal and to place the smoke detectors within range of each other. Finally, remember that smoke detectors are just one part of a comprehensive fire safety plan. It is also important to have a fire extinguisher readily available, to practice fire drills regularly, and to have a designated meeting place outside the building in case of a fire. By taking these steps, you can help protect yourself and your loved ones from the dangers of fire. Proper overcurrent protection in accordance with NEC Article 240 must be followed. Circuit breakers and fuses shall be of proper ampacity for the circuit they are protecting.